What's going on, y'all? Now, do I hate Claressa Shields? No. Some people may hate her, but I don't hate her. I'm just being brutally honest, man. And the thing is, when you come with that energy, I'm the GOAT, I'm the greatest of all time, you're disrespecting Layla Ali, you're talking tough. If you lose, people are going to give you back what you put out in the world, the energy you put out. Now, there's three things I agree with on Jake Paul's tweet. When you have that anger and all that stuff built up inside of you, yes, you're going to lose. That's how it goes. That's exactly what happened with Ronda Rousey and Conor McGregor against Khabib, and that's just how it goes. Like you bring that into the world. If you actually get embarrassed, people are going to, make sure you stay embarrassed. This is how it works. And look at Khabib and look at Pacquiao. And I said this last night in the video. They win all the time. And all you hear them say is, thank the Lord. However, they got different religions, but however they say it, they say it. Meanwhile, you're just running around saying you're the GOAT. Now, I got three things I'm going to touch on. Savannah Marshall fight. Why the fights will be with Sky Sports overseas. And then the Hannah Gabriel's fight. And before I get to that, let me talk about all the channels that are just still talking that, okay, Queen, this, and that. This is what happens to a lot of these fighters. Is that these people will hype them up. They'll give them an excuse for the behavior and the stuff that they do, and they'll keep saying it's all good. And that person will continue to tank. Instead of somebody stepping them to the side and say, hey, it's alright to be confident. It's alright to believe in yourself. It's alright to be a great fighter. It's mad respect that you wanted to go out to MMA and try that too. But you don't want to rub people the wrong way by doing that. Now, I'm going to say this. Congratulations, Claressa Shields. The whole boxing world, the whole MMA world is talking about you today. Everybody's doing a show about you. YouTube, articles, everything. So you're getting the attention you want, and hopefully that gets you more money when you go to face Savannah Marshall. Now, let's talk about the Sky Sports situation. Before any other channels start giving you misinformation, UK pays their women fighters way better than USA does. It's just a fact. Savannah Marshall's first fight was with Floyd Mayweather. And I want everybody to understand this. It's the reason why Floyd signed Savannah Marshall quick before he signed Claressa Shields. Now, Savannah Marshall left and went back, and now she's with DAZN, Matchroom, and all that other stuff. But her first fight ever was on a Mayweather pay-per-view undercard. There's some fighters, male fighters, that they first fighting on no damn pay-per-view, male pay-per-view undercard, being the biggest male superstar in all the combat sports at that time. Floyd Money Mayweather. So, now that's out the way, Sky Sports is going to pay way more than anybody would hear. Claressa Shields always also rubbed people the wrong way when she did that pay-per-view during the pandemic, when she was talking about how nobody does this for women, nobody gives them this much money, nobody does that. When you talk to people like that you want money from, they're going to say F you. Just like the Netflix special with Monique. She started talking about other comics and saying they get this pay, they get that pay. They're giving those other comics that pay because they know what those other comics bring to the table. So if you want that pay, that's awesome, Claressa Shields, but you got to bring that bread or that audience to the table. Not say what they ain't doing for men and women, because Ronda Rousey made some bread. Nunes makes some good bread. What's the girl's name? Cyborg makes some good bread. But they've put their foot down in the game, and they've all had to start really rough. They weren't put on a pedestal and didn't have millions of people watching them just 2 fights into their MMA career. Layla Ali and Ann Wolfe didn't have Layla Ali, I'll take that back. But Ann Wolfe didn't have everybody talking to her just 2 fights into her pro career. She had to work hard for that tenacious. And we all respect Ann Wolfe. We saw how she trained James Kirkland. She's a beast. We respect that. It's no problem. But when you come in talking about how great you are, then when you lose, people are going to treat you just like they treated Adrian Broner when he loses. And a lot of people are saying that. Floyd would have got the same treatment if he would have lost. Because how he talked, Floyd just was that smart. He would never lose. For example, last night when Claressa Shields kept trying to swing for the fences, Floyd would have swung and backed up, or he would have just stayed with the safe punches to win the round. Claressa would went for the home run, and she got taken down. Now, I don't know if I said this already, but the odds makers are going to have Savannah Marshall as the favorite, because she beat Claressa in the amateurs. She's also tall and lengthy. And don't forget, real people who make these books, these sports books, they saw Claressa Shields get dropped by Hannah Gabriels. They know Claressa Shields, if Showtime and the judges didn't have all that money behind her, she would have lost. She should have lost that fight. Hannah Gabriels won the majority of those rounds. And if you want to say there were back and forth rounds that could have went either way, then you would have to give it to Hannah Gabriels, because she had the only knockdown in the fight. But that was not a dominating win for Claressa Shields. It was BS how she won that title. And I'm just being straight up honest with you. Last night, one of the judges gave it 29-28 to Shields. But I knew the other judges wouldn't do that because of the takedowns. There's no way they'd be able to rob that girl like that. So, what I want to say is, when it comes to money, or I'm going back to however I went about it. When it comes to money, UK women fighters make more than American. Like, I can't think of the girl's name. She's fighting on ESPN Plus either this weekend or next weekend. She's the equivalent of Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor makes way more money than her. Somebody put in the comment section. I'm in a flow right now. It's the girl who fights for Top Rank. She went to Michigan and trained with the old 70-year-old old school trainer. She's originally from California. I can't get her name off my tongue right now. But I want to finish this and then obviously get to you guys' thoughts and opinions on Claressa Shields' MMA boxing. And some guys said, oh, she will be the champion one day. She could be. But she's got a lot to work on. But that type of attitude, as I've said before, or earlier in this video, that is what gets these people plummeted to the ground. Is to just keep on, bigging their head up, even in defeat, even when they humble. And it's just like, no, that's not the right message. I'll finish with this. Go look at Claressa Shields' All Access on ESPN Plus. She's at a PFL fight, and she's talking about a girl who lost. And she's kind of disrespectful in how she talks about the girl. She says, that girl wasn't training. She wasn't working hard. Oh, that girl didn't come here to win because the way I train, the way I do, there's no way I would have lost like that. It's no way she should have lost like that. She wasn't training hard. Couldn't somebody say the exact same thing about you when you swung like you swung last night? And you got taken down and controlled on the ground for round 2 and 3? You made that mistake once in round 2, and then you turned around and swung for the fences in round 3, had no balance. So what was you training for? Couldn't somebody say, oh, Claressa Shields wasn't really training for that fight. She wasn't trying to win that fight. How would she make a goofy mistake like that twice? It cost her the fight. That's the difference between talking that GWOAT talk and actually being the GWOAT. Most importantly, get 10 years under your belt. Get 10 years of fighting in MMA and boxing professional before you start talking that. Not 3 or 4 years in, 5 years in. Get some years under your belt. Get some excellent wins and some excellent victories under your belt. Then start talking that. Yes, you got to promote the fight, but you can't promote it so irrationally that people would just be like, hype job. Because that's what happens. Go about your business with confidence, not ignorance and arrogance. And don't let a bunch of YouTube bloggers who just enjoy interviewing you or just want to have a cause to say, oh, the system's up against you or all that other goofy stuff. Don't let them brainwash you so much as to where you can't stop for a minute and think. Because that could be your worst downfall, is nobody being honest with you. Great fighter, Claressa Shields, but you got a lot of work on. A whole lot to work on before you say you're the GOAT.